God bless you. God keep you. That's my prayer. Listen, this is Anthony D. Shannon. And listen, I'm coming to talk to you today from Leading from the Future, where we glean from the past so that you'll know where you're headed. If you do not know where you're going, then you are soon to crash. And guess what? If the blind lead the blind, they're both going into a ditch. Well, I'm glad you tuned back in. You know, our guest is no other than Archbishop E. Bernard Jordan, and now Dr. E. Bernard Jordan. That is so wonderful to hear that he has not only earned degrees, plus honorary degrees, but he puts the value, he said, on the work that he did. And if you have not gotten into school, I want to suggest to you, get in school, learn, do the work, so that you can grow and you can expand your consciousness to see things from a different perspective. And so, listen, you need to understand who this giant is. I've had the opportunity and the pleasure of being around him, to have impartations from him, and it is my honor to protect him, guide the mind that he has, to strengthen it for others to respect it. And I'm godly proud to be a son of Master Prophet E. Bernard Jordan, and I want you to welcome this gift called Dr. E. Bernard Jordan. Welcome back, sir.
God bless you, and thank you for having me back. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Master Prophet, in the last one, we talked about America's Black Prophet. I want to talk about, even though we're in that documentary, you are doing something that no one's ever done. Mm-hmm. You see, I have Alpha Phi Alpha, 1906, part of a fraternity, right? Coming through liberation and all of that, we were birthed. You're going to bring Greeks to your birthday celebration that have never ever been done before. Alphas and Kappas and Omegas. How, first of all, did that come about in the thought, and to even do that?
Well, you know, I have an individual that works with me that's a Kappa, and then I have my musician that is an Omega, right? And then you are, of course, an Alpha, and Dr. Alicia Lola Jones and her husband, she's
AKA he's an Alpha.
AKA, and she married an Alpha. And I've noticed that people that were a part of fraternities and sororities were a little bit more social conscious than those that were not. And I don't know where that comes from. That is just my observation. And so I began to inquire about the different groups. And I said, you know, I'm graduating from college with my D-men. I never pledge. I never had the opportunity to. But I'm big on people being involved in communities and being involved in groups. Because I know that you go further together. You go fast by yourself, but you go further together. And what has happened is that I, over time, have made a lot of fast moves. I moved out fast. But I didn't go far. As I've gotten older, I have learned that I can now go far if I do it as group versus individual. And so I started forming communities. I've started becoming a part of communities. And I love being a part of communities and serving in communities. And sometimes I gotta watch out because I'll try to take over because I can get that excited, motivated. So I said, you know, maybe I need to try looking at a fraternity that I can pledge to and support, okay? I am philanthropic. Philanthropic simply means the love of humanity, phileo, love of, anthro, brotherhood, the love of mankind, the love of anthropology, the love of brotherhood. If I could find strength in strengthening others in order to widen a base,
Yes.
then that's what I would do. I've been a part of churches all my life. I've been a part of denominations that I've strengthened. I've been a part of a university that I like to believe that I helped strengthen. I've gotten a lot of people through school,
Yeah.
even our local church. And I find that when you're part of groups, you create futures.
Wow. When you create groups, you create futures.
There are two great men that have lived that we all talk about. Well, most of us talk about.
Okay.
One being Socrates, and the other one being Jesus. Both of these people lived over 2,000 years ago. But their words are still living today.
Yes, indeed.
What made their words live if they never wrote anything down? Is that they didn't author books, they authored communities.
Wow.
They did not author books, they authored communities. If I can get us to understand the power of community, the community can take you the distance that you were not able to go alone.
Wow. That's huge. That's huge. You told a story about your experience with community on either a medical condition or something that was going on, and you reached out to the community. I took that and shared it with one of our members who was a minister, and her business was about to shut down. And I remember that, gave it to her, she opened it up to the community, got 3 volunteers, and her business went from the 6 she had to double, and now she's still open, even though she has to have the surgery on her knee. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, you know, a lot of times people don't realize people are more of a yes than they are a no. You have to overcome the no objection that is in your head concerning giving people invitation. Most people don't know how to give an invitation to participate.
You said people don't know how to give an invitation. So you're saying there is a methodology of inviting?
There's a science.
A science. Unpack that.
It's a science because if I begin to, how did you hear about me?
I saw you at that service.
Good. Now, when did we first speak?
Wow. I guess that prophet, that day for the prophetic.
And when did you and I have our first conversation?
Wow, years later.
Years later, right?
Yes, sir.
And how did that invitation happen?
I got a call.
Okay, got a call, right?
Yes.
But what happened if I did what I said in the last show, forgot to get the name and address?
Oh, wow. Would have never got the call.
If I never got your phone number? And so an invitation was extended, you ever acted on it.
Yes.
Invitation can be something as simple, can I please have your name and address?
Wow.
That's an invitation to invite you for a connection into our world. Now, an invitation does not require a commitment. You could always decline the invitation.
Wow.
Or you can accept the invitation. So I tell people all the time, you want to do something big, invite 10,000 people.
Wow.
Because all 10,000 is not going to respond to your invitation. But you may find that a larger percentage will if you extend the invitation and let them know what the price of the invitation is going to cost them. Once they become a yes, then you register them into whatever it is that you want them to participate in.
That's
A
good.
lot of people do not come into our life. Number one, we don't give them an invitation, and then we don't tell them how to register into our life.
Wow. So we're not even prepared. We're not ready.
We don't understand the science. Some of us will say, how come you've never, you don't ever speak to me? And you can simply says, you've never given me an invitation to.
Wow. That's great.
How come we don't do something together? I've been waiting for your invitation.
Wow.
Let's first start with the invitation. An invitation to relate.
Invitation to relate. I like that.
And so once there is the world of invitation, now we can consider, is there a world or something I have, whether it's a product, a service, or a relationship that you would like to register into?
Wow.
Now, why would you register into something? Because you believe a future can now be connected, because registration is a commitment, and a commitment is creating the future.
Wow. That's strong. That's very strong, that a commitment is creating a future.
Right. So many of us don't go into businesses. It's not that because we don't have a business. We just don't know how to extend invitation into our business.
Wow.
We just think people should just come because we open up the door.
So is that the media you're talking about?
You got to have media. Media has got to become your friend.
Okay.
And you got to be willing to invest in media. A matter of fact, when I give an invitation, I need to know how much that invitation costs to reach you.
Wow.
So if you told me, where was the first time you saw me?
At the that Full Gospel meeting in Detroit.
And how did you hear about the Full Gospel meeting?
Got a call from, I believe it was Bishop Greg Davis, I believe, or Trotter or somebody.
Okay. And this was about what year?
Wow. That was about 96.
Good. And so that was in 1996. So that means that they probably heard of me through television during that time.
Absolutely.
Bishop Trotter and Greg Davis. Matter of fact, Bishop Trotter contacted me today saying he's coming to my birthday celebration. So I could tell you back then, I was paying close to about $15 a lead.
Wow.
Because I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
Right?
But it was worth the investment, is
But
what
it was
you're
worth
saying.
the investment.
Yes.
Because I eventually got it down to $5 a lead.
Wow.
So, how willing are you to circulate money to get an invitation out?
Wow.
Most of us are too cheap to make the investment in invitation. And that's why our product or our offer stays dwarfed.
Wow. I never thought of it from that perspective. Only in industry, when I was over sales teams, we had leads and constantly pushing people. You have to make so many calls. You got to do so many this. We don't have this. Okay, I'll go create some, go buy some. But I never thought about that's with your own business, ministry, or anything else. It's just converting it over. It's the same as what you're saying.
Right. A matter of fact, I could even go further than that, Prophet Anthony Shannon. If you don't make an investment in invitation, your business or service is going to go extinct.
Wow.
It's going to die.
If they don't make the investment.
So in your business model, you was over sales team. Your business model, the VPs, and whatever role, what role did you play in?
I was the VP.
The VP knows that the day new leads stop coming in is the day the business has started to die.
That is true. Their funnels would dry up big time. And I knew, are you doing 100 a day? No. How many are you doing a day? Oh, about 5. Oh, no wonder. You had to do a certain number.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
And if that is not working, then we got to phase that out. And the resources that we're sitting there carrying, because we know ultimately in the end,
Okay.
it's going to stop.
It's going to stop.
So we might as well stop it before it stops us.
Well, I do know too in industry, when I was sales, you got me thinking that I knew per customer, if they stay with us 6 months, a year, how much average we would get from each person.
Exactly.
So I knew I could hit my number if we all brought in a certain amount of people and they all gave a certain amount or bought this product, that I knew I could hit the number.
Exactly.
Is that the same methodology?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I know that if someone is with me for at least 18 months, they're going to come into the prophetic order and is going to generate X amount of dollars in giving.
Yeah.
But they're also going to get service, they're also going to grow, and their income should begin to move up by about 25% in 18 months if they're with us.
Wow, that's strong. We should put some respect on that. Because I don't know any other than industry where people are pushing someone, a small group, to the next level.
Yeah.
Right? Especially in ministry at all. Never heard of it.
Right. Have your income gone up in the last 18 months since you've been with
Oh, no question. I came.
You said no question.
No question.
You said that kind of fast.
No, I said it fast.
Your income has increased.
Yeah, because I was coming out of industry, right? And I had not worked in industry, and I'm starting a ministry. And the guy who was helping mentor us at the time, he died. And so I was like, oh man. And nobody else wanted to think outside the box.
Wow.
And so I'm like, I want to break the back of lack. And it was that call. And it was Prophetology. I don't even know how I got the call, but I sowed a seed, and maybe that was I sowed the seed and got a call. I can't remember. But you called me to do a one-on-one, and it was in that that I asked a question and invited me to Prophetology, and I just changed everything. And then I knew from what I was believing for.
But knows what you said.
Buy a house.
You said I did what?
You called me.
And then I would. When I do on that call.
You prophesied to me one-on-one.
And then I did what?
If I have a question, I asked the question.
Right.
It was that question that I wanted to know how to break back the lack and buy a house.
But I did something else, and you said it, and not even aware that you said it.
Wow.
And then you said that I invited you.
Oh yes, you invited me to Prophetology. You invited me to Prophetology.
Conversation should be an invitation to the next offer.
I see.
See, if you fail an invitation to the future,
wow,
you've just killed the relationship, and you just made it the end.
Wow. I'm amazed. I'm amazed at that, because I never thought about it like that till right now.
Oh, yeah.
That the invite is what triggered it all. And then I start believing, and I said to the Lord, if you help me buy the house based off of what what I'm doing, sowing these seeds, I said, then I know not only your word's true, but the prophetic is true. Even though I'm in the prophetic, I said, I need to get the results that other people are getting. Why can't I get the same if I'm prophesying to them?
Exactly. And every time you're prophesying, you're sharing literary property.
Explain that.
Literary currency.
That's powerful.
Well, there's three kinds of currencies. There's tangible, gold, silver, stocks, bonds, cryptocurrency. Intangible currency. Song, writing a script, data, information is intangible currency, stuff you can't feel, but something you can be moved by.
Wow.
You know, I can't feel with my physical hands, I love you. But you say that, it does something to me.
Yeah.
Right? Or you say, I want to befriend you. There's no way you could put friendship in a three-dimensional realm.
No.
But out of that emotion, that's intangible. Right?
Yes, sir.
And then the final resource is human resource. Most people don't know that when I speak a word into their life, I just gave them an intangible currency.
Wow.
That word you can take to the bank and it will cash.
It will cash. I love that. It will cash.
Like, for instance, you know, go buy a car on this particular day when my credit's bad. Well, don't consult your credit.
Right.
Just consult the dealer.
Yes, sir.
Tell them if you go down there at 10 o'clock in the morning, they're going to have the keys for you. And they come back and says, guess what? I got the key. Yeah, but how many times? I've been out 3 times. I didn't come back with anything, but this time you came back with something. that there is money.
That there's money.
Knowing when to go. And if you knew when to go, you could have been doing something else in those 3 times that you were fooling in the dealership that was going to be a no.
Wow.
But because you went in the window, your yes happened quicker.
It happened quicker. And that's that speed.
Yes.
That's the speed that sped up. And everything we believed for when we came, God started giving it to us, opening the doors for us. And then I said, you know what? I want to support this man of God because I believe his voice is my future. He's my spiritual father. I said, Lord, how can I give $1,000 a week?
Wow.
I didn't have 1,000, but I just wanted to believe for it. And he gave me the plan.
So you didn't have it.
No.
But you started doing it.
Yes, I started doing it.
Did your bottom line grow?
Yes, sir.
Did you start seeing more money?
Yes, sir.
Because God is not mocked.
Yes, sir.
Whatsoever a person sows, that shall they also reap.
Yes, sir.
You're now tapping into divine laws, divine principles that become game changers in the lives of masters.
Wow. That's huge. Say that one more time. That was so good. Game changer.
It becomes a game changer in the life of masters. A seed that is sown break a cycle that's existing.
Wow. So I was breaking cycles.
Yes, a woman has a monthly cycle. You sow a seed there, your wife just conceived, she has a baby, the cycle stops. The seed is a pattern interrupt. Even interrupting barrenness if the seed catches.
Wow.
Your seed is disruptive technology.
Wow, your seed is disruptive technology. Wow. That's strong.
Your seed has been designed, like during the pandemic, we have not gone back to church.
Wow.
Because we sowed the seed, watch this, of educating people online.
Wow.
But the interesting thing about the seed, that anything that is new will always look wrong.
Anything that's new will always look wrong. You have to take the persecution.
Yeah, you have to take the upset about, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know the future of this. See, the brain don't like what is unknown. It loves what stays the same.
So once you're in the comfort zone, but you're breaking out.
Right, so the brain loves you to be predictive. It doesn't like when you move in the unpredicted.
Wow, that's strong. That is strong right there. So that's why we have to get the prophetic to more people.
It's got to go out to more people. And our voice has got to get into the hearts and the minds of the masses.
Yes.
That's the Great Commission.
That's the Great Commission. I'm convinced that's why we're extended and an extension in Michigan. We told Michigan, listen, we're not playing around. Whatever we hear the word, we give it. You know, you gave words on dates. I called some pastors and told them these dates, and they were like, where do you get this stuff from? I said, from my spiritual father, master, prophet. I said, okay, 4 pastors heard it, gave it to their congregation, including me, giving it to mine. 4 people in our church on that date got cars. The one lady who was a partner of ours, she said she was denied 5 times to get a vehicle.
5 times.
And she went on that day and got an upgrade. Not only did she she was looking for the car, but she needed really a van. And she got the van, and they gave her discount on the money. And from that day forward, she has been sowing into our ministry.
And see, the Bible said there's a time and season for everything under the heavens.
Under the heavens.
The prophet gets an opportunity to discern times and seasons. And when you go in and enter into those times and seasons, it opens doors that just can't be closed.
Wow. Open doors that cannot be closed.
Because it's your time.
Wow.
When it is your time, no one can replace what is ordained for you.
Whoa, did y'all hear that? That the master prophet said, when it is your time, no one can replace. That's why you have to sow into this show, Leading from the Future. You've got to understand that we have to own the narrative. It's for us, by us, and we cannot afford to let others control the narrative anymore. You have to sow the seed. You can sow the seed into $ Anthony D. Shannon. You can sow that seed there. You can sow the seed on the Victory Church int.org, and you can click on donate, and you can sow various different ways there to sow the seed, and there's a link there where you can put other, that's for the show. And we promise you that as you're listening to this great giant, this voice, this wisdom, it is phenomenal revelation, the unveiling, but most importantly, it's pragmatic, that you can put it to practice. You can put it to use, and guess what? You'll get a result. I'm a witness, my family's a witness, people are witnesses that we've been prophesying to because we've learned it from this voice years ago. And guess what? Now we get to sit and help others all across the country, Master Prophet.
Amen. So I want you to go ahead and respond to the lower thirds there. That is your invitation to get registered into something. When you give into this ministry, you just created a future that's going to produce to you an outcome.
Wow.
Just think, you are now being given an invitation. Don't ignore it, because to ignore it puts you at a disadvantage and a loss. But to enter into it and be invested in it gives you a future that you will not be able to deny.
Wow, and wow, Master Prophet, that was so powerful. That is so strong. Before we leave with these 32 seconds, we want people to support the America's Black Prophet.
Just text Prophecy 1 to 55444. Prophecy 1 to 55444. And I will see you in the future.
Well, you heard it from Master Prophet Ebenard Jordan himself. Listen, the America's Black Prophet is going to be amazing. And I want you to be a part. I want you to look and tell the world. We'll see you next time.
Church International, where we are leading from the future. And after such an impactful and empowering word, it is now time to sow. That's right, let's get our seeds in the ground. And here at the Victory Church, we sow on principle. Luke 6:38 tells us that if we give, God will cause men to give back to our bosom. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That means that we're going to receive a multiplied return. So here at the Victory Church, we've made it easy. We have multiple ways for you to sow. And if you don't know, TTO is the way to go. You have an opportunity to sow directly into the prophet to get a blessing pronounced over your home. We have 2 ways for you to sow your Teruma seed into the prophet. The first is PayPal. You can sow your Teruma, your 2.5%, into PayPal at paypal.me/AnthonyDShannon21. Or you can give into the Prophet's Cash App. That's right, sow your Teruma to $ Anthony D. Shannon. We've made it easy and we've made it simple. And it's time for you to have a blessing pronounced over your home. And as well, you can sow your tithe, your offering, anything that the Lord has laid on your heart into the Victory Church. And our primary method of giving is Faith Life. That's right. Go ahead and download Faith Life now at the App Store or the Google Play Store. And when you do, search the Victory Church International in Westland. As well, you can also give through our giving link. In your web browser, go ahead and type faithlife.com/TVCI/give, and we will receive your offerings there. As well, the church has a Cash App. Go ahead and sow your offerings into $the Victory Church INT. Or you have the option to sow through Venmo at Anthony-Shannon-24. Remember, sowing is a work of the heart, not grudgingly, not of necessity. So I urge you now, be a cheerful giver. Whatever God has laid on your heart, go ahead and sow it now. Are you giving? Go ahead and give. And at this time, we want to thank you for your support. Thank you for watching, for tuning in, for your seeds, for your prayers. We thank you, and we are blessed to serve people like you. Well, thank you for joining us here at the Victory Church, where we are leading from the future. Thank you for watching, and we never want to end a broadcast without lifting our hands and giving glory to God. Without Him, none of this would be possible. And our prayer is that the Lord will bless you and keep you until